It's like midnight. Something about that Diet Coke, y'all. I'm sorry. Anybody else like an emotional eater? That's not good, but like, I'm just being honest. Hello. Welcome back to my witch obsession. And in today's Pick a Candle reading, we will be doing another candle wax reading on just your next 3 days. I wanted to do like the next 72 hours or just like, like it's timeless it's just like based on when you're going to be seeing this. But I wanted to do this because I really enjoyed the last candle wax reading. And yeah, truth be told, I also I'll explain it in the ramble if you care to listen, but we have 3 piles here today. We have pile 1 or group 1 with this light bluish candle. It's kind of like pink at the top. And then we have candle 2, which is this yellow candle. And then candle 3, which is kind of like a dark blue candle. So yeah. Those are the candles. The timestamps are in the description box below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on the way down there. And also, if you'd like a personal reading from me, I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which is also linked down there. But yeah, see you at your reading, and thank you so much for watching. But if you'd like to sit and listen to me ramble for an extra minute or however many, then hi. Oh my gosh. Not even, guys, I'm like in a frenzy right now. Like, I wasn't planning on filming. It's literally midnight, and usually I never film this late. Like, I think there was a time where I did film this late, but like I haven't done it in a while. And I was planning on filming tomorrow on Thursday, so the 10th, but I ended up so I literally just went to McDonald's because I wanted to try a Filet-O-Fish because I've never had a Filet-O-Fish in my entire life, and I keep seeing them everywhere. And I'm just like, it got to me, and I was very curious, so I went out and like tried it. Like, I'm wearing this flannel, like this super cute one that I like thrifted, and I'm just like, I feel on right now, like I feel cute, like I feel like a vibe. And I was like, you know what, let's film, because I just ate a full meal and it's midnight. And honestly, like, I feel like I kind of emotionally ate because I was feeling kind of like bitter today. If you care to listen to like in detail, I will be posting that on my Ramble channel, which is also in the description box. But just to like be more in detail and stuff, I'm gonna give you kind of like a rundown. But if you want, like the nitty gritty, then you can go there if you want. You don't have to subscribe or anything to it. It's just for me to vent. But I just I feel like I've been very emotional today, and I feel like, so first of all, like I said, I got food, and then I was like, you know what, I want to film right now. Because I feel like these readings, like, you should film at night or, like, when it's, like, the sun setting, because, like, I don't know. But I've been feeling kind of emotional lately because, like, it's been becoming more and more obvious to me that I, like, do want to be loved. And I do want to succeed. And I want to, like, feel good. Obviously, but like also like with the whole tarot deck situation, I'm doing candle wax reading. The next video will probably be tarot. It might also be candle wax, just because like I don't know, you guys, like I've just been feeling a little bit burnt out from like using tarot decks. And I'm not like burnt out on doing tarot readings. I'm burnt out on the fact that I haven't been collecting decks, so I feel like very like trapped with the decks that I have right now. And like that's like, I don't know how to explain it that makes it sound like, because I obviously have like a very vast collection, and I don't mean to like sound like a spoiled brat, but like genuinely I feel like with how much I do YouTube now and how much I do readings, it's like sometimes I just like want a little bit of variety. And so I've been ordering more decks because my financial situation has significantly improved, and on top of that, I've just been having the drive to collect decks again, Like, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but, like, genuinely there has been, for a while, there was no decks that caught my eye. Like, there was nothing. Like, nothing was a vibe, and nothing was just, like, catching my eye. But lately, I've been getting back into it, I've been, like, seeing all these decks and stuff. I'm like, oh, these are really cute. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stockpile new decks, and then eventually I'm just going to, like, start doing a bunch of new readings or like videos of like a bunch of new decks, and I'm just like, I feel really excited. Some of these decks are a little bit newer, like in terms of release date, so I just feel very excited to support these people and to enrich the channel, to also like give you guys a little bit more variety, because like obviously a lot of my pick a cards are just like, you know, decks, you know, and because of that, you know, like I just feel like it'll also make the videos refreshing, it'll make it feel a little bit newer, you know, a little bit more updated. I don't know, that's just like my thought process. And I do get nervous because like I just like don't like changing things up too much. And it's another situation like I feel like all of these things are like, you know, like Justin, like it's fine, you know, like it's not that big of a deal, but like to me it is a big of a deal, because like I don't know, like I know I always say this, but like in my head I'm like, these people are taking 20 minutes out of their day to like sit down and like pay attention to me, you know, like it has to be worth their while, you know. And like I know like you guys don't care, like okay, like, but it's just like I just like get really bent up, like I just get really hell bent over it, okay. But yeah, I don't know, I've been feeling very kind of, I'd say I've been projecting a lot of my feelings onto material things, because today I dropped my chain. Oh my gosh, you guys, this honestly ruined my whole day. Like I was having such a bad day because of this. I dropped my chain and it got all scratched up, and like it's not like that noticeable unless you get like up close, but I was so bitter about it. Like I have a hard time letting things go, you guys. Like when I mess something up, like I just get so agitated and so irritated. Like I don't know, like I know there's a deeper rooted meaning behind it, but like seriously, like for example, if I break this bowl and I really like this bowl, you know, like I'm getting kind of attached to it just because it's probably going to be my go-to bowl for these readings, but like it just like it really like if I were to break this bowl, I would be so mad, because you know I'm like, it was my fault, you know. When somebody else says that, I'm like, oh, like whatever, it's like out of my control, you know, like oh, like people make mistakes, but like when I make a mistake I get so irritated. And I wouldn't say I'm like hard on myself like that I used to be, but like definitely like, oh, I just get so mad. But yeah, I'm definitely going to explain more on my Ramble channel, because there's like a whole thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. So stick around for that. But yeah, I also just like, I don't know, like I've been feeling kind of not burnt out, but like I've been resting, because I'm sure you guys noticed I didn't post this past Monday, and truthfully it like felt like I was actually resting. You know, like these past few days have actually been feeling like I'm resting, and that just like it baffles me, honestly. Like I cannot believe I finally feel like I'm resting, and I finally feel like the world is kind of trying to give me a break, you know. Ugh. I hope you guys can relate, because I know it's been quite turbulent out here. But yeah, so before we get into the reading, before I shoot you guys off, I do want to say like there's a bunch of tarot decks that I want. Okay, I love telling people the things that I want to buy, because it makes me feel like more committed to buying it, you know? So I just recently got the Final Rose Tarot, and I've been practicing with it because I don't want to like come on here and just like use a deck without like having used it a little bit off camera, you know? Just because like I don't know, like I want to get to know the deck. That's how I bond with my decks. I know people do like readings or like interviews with their decks, but like truthfully, for me, how I get to know my deck is I just like mess with it, and like I just play with it, and I like take it everywhere with me. I like sleep with it, I don't know. But, and I just ordered, like literally tonight, like the same night that I'm filming this, I just ordered this deck called the Blue Earth Tarot. 10 out of 10 got influenced by like Aso Tarot and Chloe Taylor. But there's another like 2 decks I want. Tarot decks at least. There's a bunch of Oracle decks that I want, but there's this tarot deck called the Pacific Northwest Tarot, and then I want the Dark Heart Tarot by Vanessa Samina. Have to. And then I want a bunch of Oracle decks. There's too many Oracle decks that I want. Like for me, it's definitely harder for me to get an Oracle deck, just because like I'm very wary of Oracle decks, because it's harder for me to bond with them. I don't know what it is, but I just find myself like gravitating towards tarot decks more. Probably because they're thicker too, I don't know. But yeah, I say that's all. That's gonna be like my little haul, so I'll keep you guys posted on it on my Ramble channel. I already flipped through I talked to you guys about the Final Rose channel. I know I keep like promoting it, but like genuinely, like I could go on and on about this, but I already have gone on and on about it. But yeah, okay, I love you. See you at your reading. Hello, pile 1, or group 1, if you chose this bluish candle, then this is going to be your reading for the next 3 days, like what's gonna happen, predictions. But yeah, as you can see, this candle's kind of broken. I tried to just fix it, but like it's just not gonna work, so I'm just gonna go ahead and light it. So yeah, here goes. I feel like in the next 3 days, definitely be careful, because you could like be clumsy and drop something, or you could like accidentally like cause a shallow wound. Nothing too crazy, but I feel like it'll be like a hangnail, you know, it's very irritating. And also be sure to not cling on to past things for the next 3 days. You know, I feel like these next 3 days you may reminisce a lot and things might upset you. If you feel like in these next 3 days that you are not making enough progress in your life, don't get too angry about it, or don't get too bent out of shape about it, because it is all just a work in progress right now. It's just important that you maintain your well-being and that you remain stable. May take some time, but that's okay. Some of you guys maybe are trying to get back into your regimens, or your skincare. For some of you, it may rain, or rain may be significant. Lavender would not be a bad idea. Just stress relief in general. I feel like you guys are very tense, and I feel like these next 3 days, it's very important that you take it a little bit easier. Be wary of sunburn. Maybe some of you guys are going to be going outside. Maybe some of you guys are planning like a beach trip, or you're planning to just like spend time outside, or like go to like a barbecue or something like that. Maybe even go to an island for some of you, or like go on a cruise. Or maybe you want to go on a trip like this. Don't be afraid to reach out to people who you think want to go, or don't be afraid to say something, or to kind of start planning it and thinking through the logistics of it. By doing so, it'll help you manifest it. And that's for those of you that want to go. I feel like some of you are a little bit nervous because summer is coming to an end, or we are in the second half of summer. It's okay to be by yourself. Don't be afraid to do things by yourself, or to not include people. For some of you, ants may be significant, like bugs. That will get dealt with if you have an ant problem. Some of you may be confused about something, or you feel like it's hard, like interruption, sorry. But also be wary of your diet. This shape over here kind of reminds me of the liver, and I feel like it's a case of worrying about like what products, like for example, like this is just an example, like you are using all of these products on your face because of acne, but your diet is consisting of things that can cause you to break out. Look at your day-to-day habits more. I know I said this in the last video too, so you probably heard it in this last video too. But I feel like these next few days are especially important because it seems like a very stressful time, or it seems, and I'm not saying like these next 3 days are going to be very stressful, but more so I'm saying that like I feel like you are going into them stressed out. Do you know what I mean? And I just feel like a lot of small things could happen, as they always do, you know, and they will make existing problems even more stressful or treacherous just because you're overwhelming yourself, because I don't feel like you guys are opening up enough. I feel like, notice how like all these wax strips are like grouped together. I feel like you guys are very closed off right now, or I feel like you guys feel very alone. And because of that, it's important to maintain your day-to-day habits, and it's important to stay consistent with your routine, so that way you don't have to worry about your physical health, you know. It's like when you're going through a heartbreak, make sure to maintain your physical health, so that like when you get out of it, like you aren't left in terrible shape, you know. Some of you may also be fixing something, or you could be going through like construction, or you are in the midst of wanting to change something in your life, maybe in regards to your home. Some of you are holding on to something. I felt that even in the beginning. These next 3 days, I feel like something from your past is going to linger in your mind heavy, or something from your past could be the reason why you are so stressed out. Not a lot of communication. I feel like there's someone in your life that you feel like isn't being honest with you, or you feel like there's someone in your life that is drifting away from you. Some of you may, I don't know why science is important here, but like something about science and cells. For some of you, if you have pets, I feel like pets are significant, especially like a cat, maybe a dog, cat or dog. Don't cling on too much to, I don't know, like I just feel like there's something here that's telling me like, be consistent, but don't cling so much onto what you are staying with, because I feel like if you do, the littlest things will rattle you up. Don't let small things like rile you up, you know? Because I feel like you guys are like, it's just like, it seems like a very stressful situation for you right now. And even if it isn't that way, like I feel very confident in saying that, you know? Like there's just something about like the way that these are dripping together that just like, do you see how these droplets are all very small, you know? It just like, it makes me feel like you feel like there's a lack of clarity in your life. And in these next 3 days, I feel like these next 3 days are especially important, that you maintain things and you kind of implement changes into your life that are healthy and kind of good for you, you know, because I feel like it'll kickstart a lot of good habits that will allow you to move past 3 days, these next 3 days that I'm talking about here, and basically solve a lot of problems, or to at least like bring things to the light, you know? A lot of things that maybe you felt like you had no answers about, or things that you feel like are being hidden from you, are going to be revealed, because they aren't necessarily hidden from you. There is just a lot of emotional and mental clutter that is hiding it, you know? Yeah, and also we've passed the break in the candle that was there. I'm noticing that the wax strips are becoming more like grouped together. For some of you, it wouldn't hurt to invest in hand sanitizer. Or if you just feel like you aren't, I don't know, like there's just something about like hand sanitizer, I don't know. You're going to be fine. These next 3 days are going to definitely be a lot kinder to you than you feel like the past few days have been. I feel like you guys are very, like, it's making me think of, like, worrying over nothing, you know? Or just, like, panicking, you know? Just because, like, you feel like things aren't moving at the pace that you want them to. Take it day by day. Things are changing. You don't really see it right now. You probably won't see all the change that you want to see within the next 3 days, but you'll definitely see a lot of what you like, the beginning or the potential, you know. You'll have a better idea. There will be more inspiration. Some of you definitely want to give your heart up, or like you want to love, or you want to be loved. I feel like it's really important that you kind of show that to yourself right now, especially. The reason why it may hurt, or the reason why it may bother you so much when people treat you badly, is because you yourself have treated yourself like that. And so it isn't because they are treating you badly, but it's because they are confirming a fear within you. Overcome that fear. And I feel like in these next 3 days, you will overcome that fear, or you will start working on it. I feel like you have been working on it. So in this case, it'll just be a progression. I do feel like these next 3 days may feel like a liminal space. Don't be afraid to take it easy. Do not be afraid to take a break. Pump the brakes. Take care of yourself. Do a little skincare, as I've been saying. I don't know if you guys have seen Fairy Tale, but like this is making me think of Juvia. Take a close look at the people that you are associating with in these next 3 days, or be careful about who you associate with in these next 3 days. And I don't mean that to scare you, but more so, if there's a moment where you feel unsure about someone, trust your intuition. You guys know. And this isn't just about people that you know in like your personal life. These could be people that you just met, you know, just lately, or like, you know, like you see at the store or something. You know, if you go to the grocery store and you don't like the cashier, don't be afraid to go to the other line, you know, before they help you. I feel like right now, like you're very protective over your energy. Don't be afraid to be petty with it, because you essentially look out for yourself the best I can see. But it can be a double whammy, because at times you can feel alone. Better to be alone than to exchange energies with people that you feel like are not good. Trust your gut. Better safe than sorry right now. Especially these next 3 days, because I feel like you guys will be sorting through a lot. Having a lot of realizations. These next 3 days may be very like, you may have an epiphany, or you may have kind of like an aha moment. And I don't think it'll be like crazy or anything like, oh my gosh, like I'm awakened, you know, like I know everything. But more so, you will have tiny little epiphanies about your day to day. For some of you, you may feel like you don't have enough time in these next 3 days. So be generous of your time. That was scaring me. Sorry about the interruptions during their reading pile 1. I'm sure you don't mind, but like once again. Let's see right here. I think it's so interesting because your candle is the only one that was like multicolored. So you can kind of see how throughout the reading the colors changed, you know? And I don't know, like this looks very messy to me. And as I was saying, I feel like some of you may be dealing with clutter in your life, whether it be physically or, you know, like emotionally. Don't be afraid to clear that out. And these next 3 days, I just feel like it's important that you don't try to pack too much onto your plate. Be reasonable and be realistic about how much you and your body can handle in regards to dealing with your day-to-day and dealing with your routines, establishing things, and just running errands and getting things done, you know? Be realistic about it. The rest will work itself out, because there's no need for you to push yourself, and there's no need to pack so much onto the plate, because the reality of it is that like you will make time for all of it, you know. There's no need for you to stress yourself out and for you to push yourself so hard. So these next 3 days, I definitely feel like will be a lot about the petty details and the nitty gritty, and like, you know, like the like going through with a fine tooth comb, as opposed to like huge, like big things, you know. But I feel like in practicing these smaller rituals and being more consistent yet flexible, it will definitely set you up for success in regards to giving you some epiphanies later down the line, to kind of give you a sense, you know. Like, I don't know, like I just feel like these habits that you could be practicing in the next 3 days, and I say it like, oh, like you should, but like I feel like you're going to. I feel like you've been in the midst of implementing them. I feel like moving forward, like as you keep practicing these good habits and you keep practicing wellness, it will definitely give you a lot of awakenings later on. And what these awakenings may be could be totally like they are like a roll of dice for everyone here. But if I had to kind of throw something into the dark, I'd say that it has to do with how you treat yourself and how you treat others and how you perceive your relationships, because I did get like kind of like a romantic feeling from this group. It doesn't have to be romantic, but you know, like I feel like that could be relevant for some of you. But yeah, that's all I have for you, pile one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it resonated. If it did, let me know down below. Sorry about all the interruptions during your reading. Anyways, I knew this was coming as soon as I found out someone else was moving in. But yeah, see you next time. I love you. If you'd like a personal reading from me, I do offer this on my Etsy shop, and which is linked down below in the description box. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Bye. See you. I love you. Hello, pile 2 or group 2. If you chose this yellow candle, this will be your reading for your next 72 hours / 3 days, or whatever you want to go by. So yeah, let's get right into your reading. Don't overwork yourself these next 3 days. Or if you feel like, because the flame was very small. So if you feel like you are spreading yourself a little too thin, or if you are feeling very small, or you're feeling anxious, don't be afraid to take a second, you know? Give yourself a moment in these next 3 days. These next 3 days, the nighttime may be significant. Some of you may go to like a pond, or maybe a body of water is significant in some way for you guys. If you guys are afraid of germs, you're gonna be fine. If you guys are worried about sickness, or if you have been sick, these next 3 days will definitely help you. You just need time. If there's anything in regards to germs, or if there's anything in regards to being ill, just know that these next 3 days you'll be fine. Some of you may be drawn to something in these next 3 days, and it will really surprise you. There's going to be something in these next 3 days that really sparks a flame in you, no pun intended, and it will really excite you. Like, there's going to be something exciting in these next 3 days that I feel like will really captivate you and motivate you to kind of try something new. If you feel like there are people in your life that are drifting away from you, allow them to drift away from you. I'm hearing like 3 peas in a pod. Some of you may be getting together with friends, or maybe you will be hanging out with people, or just a group of 3 could be significant. Some of you may even go out to like a club or something, or go to like a party. Something about yellow drinks, like pineapple. Some of you may trade something with somebody. Take care of your bladder for the next 3 days. Don't hold that. If you need to go, you need to go. There is no like just don't do that. You know, like I feel like even outside the room, like just don't do that. Like please. If you feel like you're very scatterbrained right now, don't force yourself to focus on one thing at a time if you literally can't. If you want to focus on multiple things, or if you want to kind of jump around a bunch of different projects, don't be afraid to do that, because eventually you will be able to focus on one thing again. But just like right now, embrace the fact that like you may be all over the place, or that like you have a bunch of ideas. Just don't start too many projects, but it's totally fine to think about them, you know? Like if you just randomly want to practice something, maybe you won't ever do it again, but you got 5 minutes into it, you know? Like an instrument, you know? Like you want to play an instrument, but it's just like sit down and try it for 5 minutes, you know? If you don't like it, oh well, you know now. If you happen to not be, if you happen to never do it again, it's just like you still invested 5 minutes, you know, and that was a productive 5 minutes and you learned something. But yeah, I do think that hobbies will take the forefront in these next 3 days. It will make you very happy. Some of you may discover something new. Some of you may pack fruits, or maybe you guys have been wanting to like get into smoothies or something like that. Things will make sense with time, especially in these next 3 days. It makes me think of trust the process. Trust the process in these next 3 days. But I do think that in these next 3 days, there's going to be something that occurs that makes a lot of things make a lot of sense, or that will kind of adhere different ideas together, you know? Kind of like a missing link. A missing link will be provided in these next 3 days, I feel. And it may bring you and some other people together. Some of you may get into a group in these next few days. A group of people may be very significant. And I feel like this could definitely contribute to the aforementioned kind of like, you know, scatterbrained minds, or like, you know, being very scatterbrained or being very all over the place. You're going to have a lot of ideas in these next 3 days. Don't be afraid to write them down, or don't be afraid to somehow jot them down or express them to other people, you know? Some of you need to organize your space, or some of you need to organize something in your life. It's fine to invest in all of these ideas, or it's fine to, you know, just like, it's fine with whatever you do. Like, it doesn't matter, like, no context. But it's just important that you do anything at this moment with precision, with intention. Especially these next 3 days, because I feel like all these ongoing projects that I keep blabbering about, it's important that you go about them in an organized manner to save yourself a lot of time. Some of you may be going to a park, or some of you may be trying to go outside, or just like spend time with people, you know? Some of you may also dabble into a little bit of nostalgia, or there may be something in your life in these next 3 days that like you thought you'd never see again. So I feel like if you clean something up if you organize your space, you may find something that brings great nostalgia. Or you may go back to a place that reminds you something. Something will remind you of something from your past that you are very fond of, and it'll definitely make you very happy. It'll be kind of like a Dr. Seuss moment, you know, like smile because it happened, not because it's over. And for some of you, it may be a memory that like you're so glad that you remember. It will really excite you. Something in these next 3 days will like really invigorate you. I noticed your candle's burning really fast too. These next 3 days are going to really go by in a blur. Yeah, I feel like you guys will, like, you guys may have a very packed next 3 days when you're watching this. Have fun. Don't think too much about it. You know? But, like, obviously, like, be organized, be practical, and be realistic. But don't overthink things. Something about daycares. Daycares could be significant. There's going to be things in these next 3 days that you didn't think could go together. Whether it be friends, activities, foods, flavors, something. There's just something that like you wouldn't think goes with it, you know, but like it does. I know that's very vague, but I just feel like there's going to be something like there's going to be a lot of contradictions in these next 3 days, or a lot of things that may challenge your ideas, or may just excuse me, may surprise you. Lemons could be significant. Oh, this yellow is reminding me of lemons. Some of you guys may need some vitamin C. I like mean that in the nicest way possible too. Yeah, these next 3 days will feel very fulfilling for you, Pile 2, honestly. Very happy. Like, you see how, like, the bowl is completely covered in wax? Like, I just feel like you guys will be very fulfilled these next 3 days. You'll feel very satisfied with the outcome. And you'll be very satisfied with the news that kind of comes together. Like, I just feel like you guys will be able to carve something out. And it will have longevity to it. For some of you, origami may be significant. I see a potato. Be careful on carbs, you guys. Or make sure to, like, not eat too many carbs. Or just, like, be, in general, just be very conscious of your diet. And you'll be rewarded with a lot of good feelings. Because I feel like if you eat poorly these next 3 days, it will definitely... It won't, like, prevent you from doing anything, but it may slug you down a little bit or make you very tired or cause problems. Especially with your liver, your energy. Some of you guys may be visiting someone that doesn't allow shoes in the house. Or you just may be going to another person's home. Or there's just something about being courteous. Some of you guys may take a risk in these next few days too. That probably will pay off, honestly, if you're planning on it. All right. Yeah, these next few days, things are going to start making sense, and I feel like a lot of news will be presented to you that kind of helps you, like, establish something a lot more stable and a lot more practical, because I feel like you guys have been feeling very scattered, very all over the place. But yeah, these next 3 days are going to be very fun for you, Pile 2, honestly. Yay, love that. Yeah, I think that's all I have for you. These next 3 days will definitely just, like, there's just an emphasis on being organized above all else. As long as you're organized, things will work out totally fine. Because I feel like you guys know what you're doing right now, but it's just like, stop fighting the current, or stop trying to, like, just go with the flow, but be organized about it, you know? And that will definitely give you it will give you exceptional outcomes, and it will make you feel a lot better about yourself. And be disciplined. Be very disciplined these next 3 days. Discipline will help you get through like any slumps or any difficulties with a lot of efficiency. Like, being disciplined will allow you to get through issues and problems in a more organized manner, because you will have a lot of energy and you will have a lot of practice with being disciplined, you know? Problems will be nothing if you behave yourself. But if you don't behave yourself, I feel like it could cause, like, it will just scatter you a little bit more. It's not like things won't get done, but it'll just make things harder to get done, and it will cause you to expend more energy. So yeah, that's all I have for you, group 2. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the reading resonated, and if it did, make sure to let me know down below. Other than that, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and if you like a personal reading from me, I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which is linked down below in the description box. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Again, I love you. Bye. Hello, pile 3 or group 3. If you chose this dark blue candle, this will be your candle wax reading for the next 3 days or 72 hours. Oh my gosh, pile 3. It's midnight and I have dealt with so many weird interruptions throughout the whole video. Like, I didn't think that was possible. So anyways, let's get right into your reading. Hope we don't deal with that. I feel like feel the burn is significant. Some of you guys may be working out. Some of you guys may also become like intimate with someone, or there is somebody that you want to be intimate with. I feel like in these next 3 days, something is going to become more big. I know that's kind of vague, but like, I just feel like there's something in your life that you're working on right now, or there's something that you recently started, and I feel like in these next 3 days, it will be something that begins to start taking off. Yeah, in these next 3 days, also, things may fluctuate a little bit, so don't feel too bad if it feels like you're doing 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That's totally fine. If anything, if something comes back up, it's only because you need to tweak something so that it doesn't end up, like, giving up any longevity or cause problems down the line that would probably cost more money or be more difficult, Basically, like, dealing with something right now would be a lot better than having to deal with it later. You're gonna find out something in these next 3 days that I feel that you'll be glad that you caught, for some of you, not all of you. And I don't know why. This could be in regards to your car. I feel like there will be something about your car, your home. These are just examples that you kind of catch, and you'll be like, wow, like, thank gosh I found out about it before it was too late. Some of you may also have a spa day, or you are planning to like go to a spa or get mani-pedis. Take care of yourself. But I also feel like these next 3 days, like, there's going to be an emphasis on self-care and taking things slow. That's been prevalent in all 3 piles, honestly. If you feel like you need to cry, you need to let it out. Create an environment for yourself. Create a safe space for yourself, a safe haven. Because it's clear that for some of you, you feel like you can't express as many emotions as you want to. For some of you, bodies of water could really help you. So like going to a lake or going to the beach or looking at a sunset. Allow yourself to feel. don't be too suspicious, or don't be too quick to jump to conclusions. Sorry. Nothing's set in stone these next 3 days. So I feel like, I don't know, like, I just feel like there's a sense of, like, impatience here that seems as if though maybe some of you are going to be trying to jump to conclusions or to kind of assume things. Nothing is what it seems. This is a projection of your emotions. And don't be too anxious for answers these next 3 days, because I don't feel as if though you will receive too much information or too many answers, just because I feel like the nature of your life right now is that you just need to process feelings that maybe you've had stored in you for a very long time now, maybe even months. Like maybe spring. Spring could be significant. Some of you could be going on a flight, or some of you may be wanting to travel. For some of you, lamps could be significant these next 3 days, or something about lighting. Some of you could also be reading these next 3 days, or you may read something that makes you feel very emotional. It doesn't just have to be a book. It could also be a text message. This is definitely going to be good news. I feel like some of you could cry tears of gratitude. But I also feel like for a lot of you, you'll be sad about something, or you could be sad about something right now, and you will find out something and you realize you had no reason to be sad. For some of you, you are tunnel visioning. In these next 3 days, zoom out and think things through a little bit more, or kind of like change your perspective on things. I feel like these next 3 days is definitely going to be about your perspective and kind of shifting how you look at things. And I feel like once you do that, you'll realize a lot of different things. You'll have a lot of emotional realizations. These next 3 days are going to be very liberating for you, Pile 3, I feel. Because you're going to learn a lot of things in such a short amount of time. Some of you could go skating, or skating could be significant. These next 3 days, you might grow a little bit impatient because, like I said, I don't think that you're going to be receiving a lot of news. What you're looking to find out will definitely take some time, but it will come at you in the most unexpected way. Halloween could be significant. Some of you guys may be very excited for Halloween. I know this is the next 3 days, but you could be watching this closer to Halloween. This kind of looks like the great blue hole in the ocean. These next 3 days, your emotions will be felt very deeply. I feel like you guys will be especially sensitive these next 3 days. Be protective over your energy. And don't let anyone tell you that you're being too sensitive. Like, literally, like destroy them. Just kidding, don't do that, but These next 3 days, I feel like people are going to be very surprised by you, or very surprised by what you're capable of. I feel like you don't receive enough credit for all that you do, Pile 3. And so I feel like in these next 3 days, people will kind of understand or kind of see how much you do, and they'll definitely be pretty surprised, may even feel bad. And I feel like this is kind of like, not like fault, but more so like, I feel like you're a very secretive person, or I feel like you're somebody who likes to go off the grid frequently, or you're just a very private person. People may struggle to look for you or try to find you a lot, but I just feel like you are very dead set on not being found. But I do think that with time, especially in these next 3 days, somebody may realize you and they'll be very impressed. You may attract a lot of attention these next 3 days, pile 3. So do be wary of that, because not all attention is good, and you know that. Some of you may find some unexpected money in these next 3 days. Makes me think of, like, you know, when you're a kid and you find some coins in the couch cushion. I feel like that's the kind of vibe it'll be. Like, you could do laundry, you could find a $5 bill, or it could be as big as, like, you just, like, find a check, you know? But unexpected money could be coming your way in these next 3 days. Some of you guys could be working on these next 3 days, or these next 3 days working out could be significant. Something about the gym, something about sweating. For some of you, you may get a very strenuous task done in these next 3 days. I don't know what it is. Something about moving furniture. Maybe some of you are moving furniture, or some of you are just doing something that will cause you to break a sweat, but you will feel very good afterwards. You will feel very accomplished. You may even get paid to do it, some of you. Don't reach for things that are... You need to attract, not chase. Don't overextend in these next 3 days, because I feel like if you keep reaching in these next 3 days, it will continue to stay just right outside of your grasp. So allow it to come to you. These next 3 days, it won't seem like you're making progress, or it won't feel like it, but you definitely will be. Trust the process. Some of you could also, like, I feel like the beach is significant. One of these wax drops looks like a sand dollar. Some of you guitars could be significant. I feel like some of you guys, be careful of emotional eating, especially with, like, small snacks. Just be wary of how you handle and cope with your emotions these next few days. Pile 3. New Mexico could be significant. Some of you may clean something these next 3 days, and you've been putting off cleaning it. Be patient these next 3 days, because I feel like somebody may admit their feelings to you, or somebody may disclose their true intentions with you, or something will make sense as long as you don't try to force it or rush it. Let's see what we have here before we kind of wrap things up. If something scares you these next 3 days, give it just as much time as you would for anything else, because it will reveal itself to not be scary at all. There's just a lot of not everything is what it seems, group 3. I feel like these next 3 days will definitely be very emotionally liberating, because I feel like not only is there's just like an emphasis on allowing things to be and processing your feelings and allowing yourself to kind of go on autopilot a little bit more, and to kind of go through the motions a little bit more instead of thinking things through too much, or trying to make sense of everything. I feel like once you stop doing that, you will definitely feel a lot more liberated and you will feel a lot more free to enjoy simpler things in your life. And you may also like remove a lot of blockages, especially in terms of your finances and your feelings when it comes to like how you react to stimuli. But yeah, that's all I have for you, Group 3. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the reading resonated, and if it did, make sure to let me know down below in the comments, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe in general. And if you'd like a personal reading from me, I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which is linked down below in the description box. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. I love you. Bye. And we had no interruptions.